Next up, Elizabethtown faces Manheim Township. Who will emerge victorious and claim their spot in the championship? Get ready for an electrifying showdown right here on WGAL8 Brainbusters.
From Studio B, this is WGAL8 Brainbusters. Now, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome once again to WGAL8 Brainbusters. Throughout this exciting tournament, we have met 32 high school teams, and today we're down to the Final Four. Elizabethtown and Manheim Township, then Penn Manor and Lancaster Mennonite. This means we're just 2 games away from awarding $10,000 in grant money to the top teams, with each of these teams guaranteed at least $1,000 from WGAL8 Brainbusters. In less than 30 minutes, we'll find out if Elizabethtown or Manheim Township will advance to the championship round for a chance to win the grand prize of $5,000. Well, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but first, as we always do, let's take a moment to meet these honorable teams. First, we welcome back the team from Elizabethtown. We say hello to Ethan. Ethan is a junior. The captain is Liam. He is a senior. And Owen is a senior. Standing next to Owen is Mr. Timothy Spiegel. He's a social studies teacher, teaching specifically this year AP Macroeconomics. And of course, I want to give a shout out to 2 of the alternates who were unable to be here today, Connor and Sienna. Welcome back to the Elizabethtown area high school Brainbusters team. And now welcome back to the Manheim Township high school team. First, we say hello to, once again, to Cameron, a senior. The captain is Andy. He is a junior. And Ellie is the 3rd player, a senior. Between Cameron and Andy, we have one of the coaches, Mr. Zach Mussman. He is a gifted support teacher there. And between Andy and Ellie, we have Vincent. He is a senior and today's alternate. And finally, next to Ellie, we have Mrs. Caitlin Rock. She teaches business and also works as a gifted support teacher. Welcome back, the Manheim Township High School team. All right, players, you know how to play. You know how to win. Pick up those signaling buttons. Let's use them frequently, beginning now with this 10-point question. Pop culture scoop. Selfish is the first new song since he was entangled in controversy surrounding the 2023 memoir, The Woman in Me, by his former girlfriend, Britney Spears. Andy.
Drake.
Oh, no, not he. Sorry about that. Who is the singer, songwriter, and actor, Elizabethtown? Liam.
Justin Timberlake.
He's the one for 10 points. The scapula is a flat triangular bone connected to the clavicle. What is it more commonly called? Liam again.
Shoulder blade.
You are correct again. These Asian nomads entered Europe in the 4th century AD. Right, Andy?
Huns.
The Huns raided Gaul and Italy and then retreated again. You are correct, and that gets Manheim Township on the board. This chemical element is a key component in steel production and is essential for blood health in living organisms. What? Oh,
iron.
Iron is the mineral that our body uses to make hemoglobin. He has been the Lord High Admiral of the British Army since 2021. Who is he? Liam.
Harry.
Oh, not he. No, sorry. Andy.
William.
No, sorry, it's King Charles III. In classic science fiction, it's a robot that looks like a human being. It's also Google's Liam.
Android.
An Android is also Google's software for mobile devices. The loudness of a sound depends on the amplitude of the wave. What characteristic of the wave determines, Andy?
Frequency.
The frequency determines the pitch of the sound. Good anticipation. It's the number of frames per second that motion picture film moves to make motion. Owen.
60.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to complete the question. For Manheim Township, to make motion pictures appear natural. It's the atomic number for chromium and the number of carats in 100% pure gold. What's the number? Cameron.
24.
24 is the correct answer. It starts with Ash Wednesday and ends on Holy Saturday. What is this, Ellie?
Lent.
Lent is this 40-day Christian period of penitence. Measured in kilogram meters per second squared, it's the product of mass times acceleration. What is this concept in physics, Liam?
Force.
Force equals ma, yes. This popular mobile game, released in 2016, a cultural phenomenon, allows players to catch virtual creatures in real-world locations.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go is the name of the game. You are correct. Balboa is at the Pacific end, Colón at the Caribbean. What is this 10-mile wide strip of land? Andy.
Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal, or the Canal Zone, we would have accepted also. Consider the function y equals 5 times x to the 4th power. What is the value of the 4th derivative of this function? We stumped you on 120, and that's 5 factorial, by the way. This is not the end. This is not even the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning. Who spoke these words in November 1942? Liam.
Churchill.
Churchill did, of course. Yes, it was originally sworn to Apollo. Today it's sworn to whatever the speakers hold sacred. Liam.
Hippocratic Oath.
The Hippocratic Oath that pledges loyalty to the profession of medicine. He commanded U.S. troops in Korea until he was removed from command. Andy.
MacArthur.
MacArthur was the old soldier who wanted to bomb China. This actress, known for her role as Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games series, has also starred Cameron.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence has also starred in films such as Silver Linings Playbook, Don't Look Up, and No Hard Feelings. Should you live so long, you can have a second one at the age of 83. Most Jewish males celebrate only one, Liam.
Bar mitzvah.
A bar mitzvah at the age of 13. First used in 1864, you'll find the 4 words "In God We Trust" on almost every U.S. coin. Andy.
E pluribus unum.
Oh, no, sorry. We complete the question for Elizabethtown. What 4-word phrase is on every U.S. coin? We stumped you on United States of America. It's a punctuation mark. It's also part of your large intestine. What's the word, Cameron?
Colon.
Colon is correct. You're living in a treeless Arctic climate where Andy.
Tundra.
The tundra, where the soil is permanently frozen. You are correct. An NBA basketball game lasts 48 minutes. A football game is 60 minutes long. How long is a regulation soccer match? Cameron.
90 minutes.
90 minutes is correct. It's a cylindrical hat worn by Mediterranean Africans, named for the city in which it was invented. Liam.
Fez.
Fez is the name of the city in the North African country of Morocco. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Who explains this method of detection in the sign of the 4? Liam.
Sherlock Holmes.
He's the one. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. What poem, Mending Wall, begins with this, Liam?
Robert Frost.
Robert Frost begins with this memorable line. With that correct answer, that now takes us to the end of the round. Gives us all a chance to take a collective breath, and that's a good thing because we have a fantastic game going, a tie score, as we prepare for our next rounds of play, the one-on-one rapid fire and 60-second team lightning rounds, when WGAL8 Brainbusters continues following this.
WGAL8 Brainbusters will return after this. The final 4 teams in the WGAL8 Brainbusters tournament will win cash grants. The 3rd and 4th place teams will receive $1,000 each. The 2nd place team will receive $3,000. And the WGAL8 Brainbusters champions will receive $5,000 in grant money. Now, back to your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back as we continue this semi-final match between Elizabethtown and Manheim Township. Now, our intellectual journey has just begun because it's now time for today's one-on-one rapid fire round. In this round, the individuals go head-to-head to test their knowledge and quick thinking. Ethan. Welcome back. It's nice to have you here. So we start with you. So this question in this round is, if money were no object, where might be a place that you would like to visit anywhere in this world?
I'd like to visit the textile mill in Lowell, Massachusetts. My history teacher was employed there in a previous life as a mill girl, so it's a story I've heard many times. I'd like to see the real thing.
I'm sure that's quite endearing and quite interesting, and I'm sure your history teacher will laugh when he or she hears you mention that. Cameron, what about you? Where might you, if money were no object, like to go visit?
Definitely Iceland. It's really beautiful there, and I like to do a lot of photography, so definitely appealing.
And to see the lights, too, you know, the Northern Lights, no question about it. Well, I hope that you have a chance to go visit there. Ethan and Cameron, pick up your signaling buttons, and let's see what happens. We have a tie score, and see how you two do with these 3 questions. Mount Rushmore is one of our larger national monuments located in South Dakota. Name the 4 presidents whose faces are carved on Mount Rushmore. Cameron.
Roosevelt, Lincoln, Washington, Jefferson.
You are correct for 10 points. Good for you. This British rock band is known for hits like Bohemian Rhapsody. Pardon me, We Will Rock You. Cameron.
Queen.
And the name of the legendary band led by Freddie Mercury, as you said correct again, is Queen. And finally, this economic term refers to a period of general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. What is this phenomenon, Ethan?
Repression?
Oh, no, sorry. What is this phenomenon which is closely monitored by central banks, Cameron? Cameron?
Interest rates?
No, sorry, it's inflation. It's the definition of inflation. Sorry about that. 110 to 130. Now let's meet our two captains. First from Elizabethtown, it's a pleasure to welcome back Liam. Liam, I'm expecting something very creative from you. Where do you think about and dream about, perhaps if money were no object, of visiting on this planet?
I would love to travel to Morocco because my history teacher, the same history teacher, was stationed there while he was in the Peace Corps, and he got bovine tuberculosis, and he still carries it in his spinal column. So I want to go there and not get tuberculosis.
Well, that sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Regardless, it's supposed to be an absolutely extraordinary country. Thank you very much, Liam, for sharing. Andy, what about you? Where might you consider visiting in this world?
I've always wanted to go to Montana to see the mountains and the more mountainous parts of our country, just because the sheer beauty of it.
To be out west and to see all that and all the land, no question about it. Liam and Andy, let's put you two one-on-one. The Wall Street Journal described this man as one of the most influential and controversial tycoons. He is stepping back from his media career, hoping to turn over Andy. No, sorry. Liam, I'm going to complete this for you. He's hoping to turn over his leadership of Fox News and News Corp to his son Lachlan. Who is this, Liam?
Rupert Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch is this 93-year-old icon. Sorry, Andy, anticipation did not work in your favor that time. There's your second question. This contagious disease causes painful swelling below and in front of the ears, also called parotitis, because it affects the parotid or salivary glands in the cheeks. Liam?
Rabies?
Not rabies, no. By causing swelling, Andy. What is this epidemic viral disease? Andy?
Measles?
No, sorry, it's mumps is the correct answer. And finally, this agreement, reached in 2015, aims to promote fair trade practices and environmental standards in the Asia-Pacific region. What is known as TPP? Andy?
Trade Pacific.
No, sorry. Liam, any idea? Oh, I'm sorry, we stumped you on Trans-Pacific Partnership. 120 to 130. Teams are neck and neck as we meet our final players in today's one-on-one match. First from Elizabethtown, a pleasure to welcome Owen. Owen, nice to have you back. Owen, so if money were no object, where might you consider visiting in this world?
Well, considering I was not in Liam and Ethan's history class, I would probably consider going to Sweden first and foremost because a large number of my extended family members, several generations back, are from Sweden, and Iceland and Ireland are also both on the list of
fantastic
destinations.
Choices. Well, great choices, no question about it. I can only imagine the adventures you'd experience there. Ellie, what about you? Where might you select to visit?
I'd love to go to Germany. I've been studying German for like 6 years now, and I would love to experience the culture there.
And a great opportunity to use your language, and that's when you really get part of the culture, when you eat the food and speak the language. Ellie and Owen, let's put you two one-on-one. This Egyptian queen was known for her intelligence. Ellie?
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra, political acumen in her alliances with Roman leaders such as Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. The name of, as Ellie said, was Cleopatra. Every 4 years since 1937, it's been the inauguration day for the new president. What day of the year is it, Ellie?
January 20th.
January 20th is correct. And finally, at the beginning of January 2024, the new Senate Majority Leader is kicking off the new season with a promise to preserve the filibuster, saying in his first floor speech as leader that his priority will be to ensure the Senate stays the Senate. Who is the new Senate Majority Leader? Oh, guys, we stumped you on... Oh, Ellie?
Johnson.
No, sorry. John Thune is the correct answer, from Republican from South Dakota. 120 to 150. We're now going to pick up the pace and play today's 60-second team lightning round. Okay, Liam, your team is behind at this point, but only by 30 points. And I know we've seen you forge ahead beautifully in the past, so let's see what happens as we offer these three quizzes to you. College knowledge, dead certain, right field.
We'll take Dead certain, please?
Some of the world's favorite tourist attractions are actually graves and graveyards in fiction, too. So for 10 points each, let's take a tour. Try not to answer unless you're dead certain. Liam, I take your answer as the team's answer. Ethan and Owen are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. There are 3 big tombs near Giza, Egypt. The really big one is for Cheops.
Great Pyramids of Giza?
The pyramids, yes. The Tomb of the Unknowns is in this national cemetery.
Arlington?
Arlington is correct. In Stephen King's novel, You Can Bring Fido and Fluffy back
Pet
to
Cemetery.
Correct. Early Christians were buried in these tunnels under Rome.
Catacombs.
Catacombs, yes. Cemetery Ridge was part of this battlefield. Now
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg, yes. Shah Jahan built this mausoleum for his wife.
Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal is correct. You can visit this cowboy cemetery in Tombstone, Arizona.
Deadwood?
No, Boot Hill, sorry. There is a raven carved on this gravestone in Baltimore.
Edgar Allan Poe's.
That's correct. King and poets are buried in this London church.
Westminster Abbey?
That is correct. This wonder of the ancient world was built in Halicarnas in the 4th century BC.
Pass.
The mausoleum, 13,000 Union soldiers are buried near this Georgia prison camp.
Andersonville.
That is correct. In Hawthorne's novel, her grave is in a small Boston cemetery.
Hester Prynne's?
Hester Prynne is, yes. Because workers were buried in it, this wall has been called the longest cemetery in the world.
Hoover Dam.
The Great Wall of China, Bonaventure Cemetery is in this city in the setting for the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and that was Savannah, Georgia. So 10 correct. 100 points came your way. That was challenging for our team. Do we have 2 more challenging quizzes for you? We're going to find out, Andy, if you select college knowledge or right field.
Right field.
Right field. In this game, you can play any fields you like as long as it's the right field. For 10 points each, identify these people, places, and things whose names include the word field. Each answer will include the word field. Andy, I take your answer as the team's answer. Cameron and Ellie are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Good luck, and here we go. In a football game, a successful one is worth 3
Field
points.
goal.
Correct. This sport has running events and throwing and
Field
jumping
hockey.
events.
Field hockey.
Track and field. It consists of flux lines that run from the North Pole to the South Pole.
Magnetic field.
That is correct. In Chicago, it's the home of the Cubs.
Wrigley field.
That is correct. Beatles, a song that begins, "Let me take you down because I'm
Strawberry
going
fields.
to..."
Strawberry fields.
That is correct. It's where Dorothy finds the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz.
Pass.
Cornfield, the home of Abraham Lincoln and Homer Simpson.
Springfield.
That is correct. Atlanta's International Airport, Blank Jackson.
Hartsfield Jackson.
That is correct. Kevin Costner built a baseball diamond in Iowa in this 1989 movie.
Pass.
Field of Dreams, series of video games that include Bad Company, China Rising, and Hardline.
Battlefield.
That is correct. He wrote novels Tom Jones, Joseph Andrews, and
Henry Fielding.
Pamela.
Henry Fielding.
Yeah, that is, he's the one. In Greek mythology, it was the final resting place for the heroic and virtuous.
Pass.
The Elysian Fields. John Fogerty's song in the line, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play hot today."
Pass.
Center Field. This magazine for hunters and fishermen is more than 130 years old. Field and Stream, 8 correct. So we had 80 points came your way. Look at those scores, 220 to 230. A great game going, but it's time now to reveal today's bonus Brainbuster category. So during our break, our teams will wager 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of intellectual property. So we'll have the bonus Brainbuster and, of course, the all-important Final Frenzy when WGAL 8 Brainbusters continue after these messages.
Watch all this season's episodes of WGAL 8 Brainbusters anytime on WGAL.com. Our online home also includes our tournament schedule and a chance to learn more about the show and host Rich Rosen. Scan the QR code with your phone or go to WGAL.com and click on Brainbusters.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first of our semifinal matches. This is between Elizabethtown and Manheim Township. Our teams are neck and neck, but they are braced for what lies ahead because here comes today's bonus Brainbuster. During our break, our teams wagered 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of intellectual property. Let's head into the News 8 newsroom with Lori Burkholder. She has today's question. Lori.
Thanks, Rich. Now here is your bonus Brainbuster. In 2025, many creative works from 1924, including literature, films, and sound recordings, will become freely available for use without needing permission or payment to the original creators. What term is used to describe this legal status of such works? Again, in 2025, many creative works from 1924, including literature, films, and sound recordings, will become freely available for use without needing permission or or payment to the original creators. What term is used to describe this legal status of such works? Good luck with your answer. Now back to you in Studio B. Rich?
Thank you, Lori. Good luck to you. We'll give you about 5 seconds. I think, Andy, you're also, oh, Andy's going to write it down. Liam, you wrote it down almost immediately. Let's see if Cameron, Andy, and Ellie have the correct answer. Okay. Liam, we always start with this side of the set. Did you come up with the correct answer? And you said public domain, of course. That is absolutely a correct answer. 25 points added to your score. Sound and the Fury, Farewell to Arms, Singing in the Rain, Ain't Misbehavin', Bolero by Ravel all became part of the public domain in 2025. Andy, did you come up with public domain? Public domain, you did, but only a 10-point wager, a little conservative on the wager. Look at that, 245 to 240. Who's going to come back for the finale? Well, we're going to find out momentarily because all the marbles are coming up now in today's Final Frenzy 20-point questions. If you have a credit card or a debit card or an electronic bank account, you probably also have a PIN. What is a PIN pin, Liam?
Personal identification number.
Correct for 20 points. It bordered the Red Sea until the independence of Eritrea in 1993. Made it landlocked. Andy?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is correct. Lead is a heavy metal, but the heaviest metal is also the heaviest naturally occurring element. Owen?
Tungsten.
Oh, no, sorry. What radioactive element becomes lead when it decays, Manheim Township? Cameron?
Uranium.
Uranium is correct. The piano has 88 keys. The lowest note on the piano is an A. What is the highest on the piano?
C.
Owen? C is correct. He once said that the only qualification he had to be president was that he looked like a president. Who was the first U.S. president elected after the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, which gave women the right to vote? Andy?
Coolidge.
Not he. No, sorry. Liam?
Taft.
No, it was Harding, 1921 to 1923. This river served as one of the northern boundaries of the Roman Empire for much of its history. What river runs from Switzerland to the North Sea? Andy?
The Rhine.
The Rhine does. On May 19, 1536, Henry VIII had his wife Anne Boleyn beheaded on charges of adultery. The next day, he married Anne's lady-in-waiting, Liam.
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour was Henry's third wife. After Odin killed him, the heavens were made from his skull, the earth from his body, and the seas from his blood. In Norse mythology, who was the first giant? Andy?
Ymir.
Ymir is correct. His major piano works included mazurkas, waltzes, nocturnes, polonaises, etudes, impromptus, preludes, and sonatas. Who was this 19th century Polish composer? Liam?
Debussy.
Oh, no, sorry. Manheim Township. Aunt Cameron?
Liszt.
No, Chopin, Frederick Chopin. You could lose this organ in your body without danger. What body filter? Cameron? Sorry, that is incorrect. What body filter removes old red blood cells? Liam.
Spleen.
Spleen does. His equation E equals HV expresses Liam.
Boltzmann.
No, sorry. Ellie.
Planck.
Planck is the one, yes. Professional hockey has the Stanley Cup, golf, the Ryder Cup. In what game does the team win the Commissioner's Trophy? Liam.
Football.
No, not football. Andy.
Golf.
No, it's baseball. The MLB, the World Series. This 13-letter word refers to the spacing of text in a document so that the right... Liam.
Kerning.
No, sorry. So that the right and left margins appear as even columns. What is that term? Cameron.
Justification.
That is the correct answer. South Korea's parliament in January 2024 passed a ban on production and sales of this kind of meat over concerns about animal rights and the country's international image. Ethan.
Dog.
Dog meat is the correct answer. And that sound takes us to the end of the round and to the end of the game. What a fantastic match this has been. But it looks like we are going to see Manheim Township for the championship round. But we hope to see you in just a few short moments.
Scorekeeping for WGAL8 Brainbusters, presented by Jennings College Consulting, where students discover the right college fit for the future. We'll return after this. Welcome back to WGAL8 Brainbusters, the Susquehanna Valley's longest-running high school quiz show. Once again, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. What a game. Manheim Township High School has claimed victory today and secured their spot in the championship. Now, while we say goodbye to Elizabethtown Area High School, they won't leave empty-handed. The team will receive $1,000 from WGAL8 Brainbusters. But the big question remains, who will Manheim Township face? Will it be Penn Manor or Lancaster Mennonite? Well, we're going to find out on the next WGAL8 Brainbusters. We'll see you next time, and remember, the more you learn, the more there is to discover. So keep asking questions. Goodbye for now. See you next time.